comic books, movies, TV, and more. Nerds are everywhere. It's time to assemble! It's Nerds United.
Hello and welcome to a brand new Nerds United. And if you are watching this on YouTube, that's right. This is 2 new videos this calendar year. And it's largely because I have some tremendous guests. Last time around, it was Jason Copeland talking all things Full Tilt. And this time I get to bring back, again, not just former guests, but seriously good friends. I mean, these guys were at my wedding. That's how good. That's how far we go back. And so I'm thrilled. You'll notice the positioning this time around. I feel like I'm on the Brady Bunch or something because over here. And look, I thought I was pointing to Joe, but that's just not how the camera works. So above this shoulder. No, wait. This is tough. Over here. This is Holmes, or as we'll refer to him throughout the episode, Justin Holman. Welcome back, Mr. Holman.
Hey, thanks for having me, bro. Good to hang out with you again.
And this guy over here, over this shoulder, is, as you can see by the name there, Joey Dodd. Joe, what's up, man?
Hey, not much, brother.
So I haven't seen these guys in person for a couple of years, but we all live in Southern Illinois, and
the last place.
What's that?
What was the last place? The barbecue joint?
I think it was. It was when we were supposed to get together with
good.
all of us.
Sucked.
Oh, I thought it was great.
Oh man, dude.
I'll say this: the food was fine, the company was great, but we were missing a couple of brethren there,
Yeah,
and we don't forget. Speaking of, look, I don't ever do this live during a show. I mean, which is not really live, but I'm going to take a picture of the 3 of us, and I'm going to send it to the 2 who aren't on the show. So that's going to be fun. And we'll tell them we're going to tell them where they can watch the show when it hits here in a few days. So let's kind of recap, get caught up, because it's been that long since you guys were on the show. And Mr. Holman, I think you were the first of you 2 guests, and I remember we sat back in your man cave, surrounded by Transformers.
Yeah, that's usually the case.
Yeah, I mean, I see there's quite a few on the shelves behind you, as well as some original artwork. And you know, I remember we spent a lot of that course talking about the collection, talking about your overall nerdiness, talking about giving, and we'll touch back on this, but we talked a lot about Revis at the time. And that was in the era where Revis, you guys had decided, we're just gonna, call it a day, call it good. But there's even been just a little bit of excitement around Revis this year, Mr. Holman.
Yeah. October last year, we recorded 8 new albums, or 8 new songs, and for not necessarily an album, because albums aren't really like, hey, what's going on? Is that Garrett?
That's Garrett.
What's up, Garrett?
He can't hear you.
That's fine. Great.
Justin says hello, Garrett.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on? If he starts floating, I'm going to freak out, though, man. Kids, little kids freak me out, man. It's like, you never know if it's going to be a horror movie or not. It starts levitating behind you, bro. Anyway, hey, Garrett, how's it going? Would you like a Bible? So we recorded 8 new songs last year in October. I met Robert and Nathaniel in Murfreesboro. We recorded at Miss Under Studio, and 2 of the songs have been released, and we have 6 more that I've finished with the guys that have to be mixed, mastered, and then we'll release them. I haven't spoken to them in a few months, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, like, we're just doing it out of the love of, out of love of the music and just wanting to hang out again and make some awesome stuff. So I would think that so a couple more songs will be being released soon, but I can't tell you a date really. I can just tell you that they exist and that they're being worked on, and that everybody is not only getting along, but is really happy to be working together again.
Excellent. I know as a longtime Revis fan like myself, it's always good news. And
Yeah.
as excited as we are Revis fans, myself, for the music, and I'm just so happy that like you guys are,
So am I.
back. So, excellent. And not only that, but since the last time we talked, you've had not you, but your lovely wife has had a baby, and
Yeah. Yes, and we're expecting another baby.
so for those of you listeners or viewers, there are three of us on this conversation right now who I believe when you add all of our kids, it's like 12. So
No,
Let's see.
He's got the Brady Bunch over here.
You guys each have. You guys each have 3?
3.
Okay, so yeah, so I've got 6 right now, getting ready to get a tiebreaker. So it's gonna be 13 soon, bro. We'll just name this one tiebreaker Holman. I got 3 girls and 3 boys, so
his kids are gonna outnumber our kids very soon.
Oh, yeah.
just don't. Yeah, I tell you what, man. Just don't call me a Duggar. That's all I care about. Just don't call me a Duggar. No, it's my second. It's our second child with my wife Allie, and we're really excited about. It's the big question mark because we don't know if we're having a girl or a boy. We're doing it old school. We're waiting to see. We're waiting for that special moment to see if we're having a girl or a boy. It's like the ultimate Christmas. We tried for so long to have children, and we were finally blessed with Mordecai about 15 months ago, and he's crazy and awesome.
Yeah.
Just short of being Irish twins, we decided we're gonna go run on it again, and we're gonna have another one. And God blessed us with another one. So here in August, maybe July, I don't know. She's been having a lot of Braxton Hicks. We're going to be having our second child together, and we're super excited.
Well, congratulations for sure. One of a lot of people that I know, not people, women that I know who are all expecting right now. So it's very exciting. Which means it's also pricey for me because it's just like, all right, diapers. Everybody appreciates diapers. So
Yes.
I was telling Joe before you jumped on. I drove essentially past your street twice today. But I was in a rush. I was heading down to Harrisburg, and I was in a rush, and so I didn't have time to stop. But I was like, I know where they live.
Yeah,
and they're gonna get a delivery of diapers sometime. So
I appreciate that. So Greg will come by my house and like randomly print papers out on my copy machine. Like he texted me like a year and a half ago, and he's like, Holman, he's like, you got a printer? And I was like, I'm an artist. Of course I got a printer. He's like, I gotta use it. Are you home? And I'm like, I don't know. Alex there. You can print it off if you need it.
Yeah.
That's what friends are for, though. That's what friends are for.
Yeah, I was very fortunate. Used to for work, run that area, and we're in town. So I think you guys know, maybe some people listening don't know that I work in life insurance, and so we had an insured individual who had passed away, and I thought I was running with my partner at the time, or my coworker, and I thought he had the file that had all the forms, and then we get down Interstate 57, and I was like, "You got the file?" Oh, yeah, I think so. He checked. He didn't have the file. So you can't really go and run this appointment without any of the forms to fill out. So I was like, Holman, I need a favor.
I'm glad we were able to help you. I'm glad that there was enough ink on the printer to help you.
I appreciate that. Joey, man, what have you been up to since the last time? At least we got together in a podcast realm, which I believe was in your garage or something. I mean, it was a few years back.
It was at my mom's house, man.
Yeah, I think so.
We set up in our kitchen.
What's new with you?
Well, we've actually formed our own studio now. We've called it Keensight Studios. Me and Justin have formed that, and we're working in the Web3 space right now, man. It's pretty awesome.
You're gonna have to. So I'm unenlightened. Fully admit to that. What is, you said the Web3 space, but I don't know anything about that.
It's kind of like you work in crypto and NFTs, but it's based on like you do a lot of business and a lot of your work on Discord, to where you interact with communities like on a one-on-one basis. So you have more contact with your community and the people that it offers a wider product experience.
Mm-hmm.
Say as to like Web 2. Web 3 offers the product experience of being able to be there during the creation of something. Say like you go to a convention, right? And you see your favorite artist and you sit there and you watch them draw a picture, right? This is kind of that experience, but we take you from the genesis of the project all the way through completion, and we allow the people and the consumers to be a part of that creation experience.
So I'm going to try to summarize that to the best of my ability. If I was looking at, and somewhere around here, I have a traditional comic book somewhere. They're all behind me and out of reach. Yeah, excellent. So, it has, writer, art, penciler, inker, maybe letter, something like that. I feel like it in this new model, that it's, you get like the back pages, everybody who, helped guide the story into what it becomes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And everybody in the community gets to be a part of that.
Nice.
So we involve a lot of the people in there as to like the creation of the story. Justin wrote up what we call the Choose Your Own Adventure for our book Lost Realms, and you want to tell them how we set that up as you wrote that out.
Yeah, sure. So we when we started the project, everything was running really smooth. We had the whole issue written, right? And we're working with this awesome friend of ours. His name's Saint, and he hosts and runs Lost Realms and Tribe. And he has a bunch of other subsidiaries that are underneath Tribe. But for what we're talking about, which is Lost Realms, the IP Lost Realms, we had an issue written, and we all got together and we decided that it'd be super cool to involve the community more, the community within Discord. When we were doing live events, we'd have anywhere from like 4, 5, 6, 700 people at any given time just kind of chiming in on chat, and so like whether Joey was in there talking about art or I was in there talking about the script, or we were both in there together kind of bouncing off ideas, what we found out was that, like, man, they really loved being a part of it. So what we realized was we needed to go old school. Like when we were in grade school, you pick up that Choose Your Own Adventure book and you decide, where you're going. But we did it in the Web3 space with our comic book. So what I did I picked up like 4 or 5 different scenes, and this is over a month and a half, 2 months, and each week I would have a scene, and I would split that scene into three different ideas. From there, those 3 different ideas would be split again into 3 different ideas. And from there, those 3 different ideas would be split into 3 different ideas again. So you can do the math. So what I did was I tried my best to be really detailed in the places, no matter what they picked, where they would go. And we basically kind of wrote half of our book with the aid of the community for Lost Realms. And they got to pick exactly what they wanted. Like some of the stuff that I wrote, I was like, man, I hope they pick it. They didn't pick it. They picked what they wanted. Totally cool. That's the whole point of it. But it stretched us. It's still stretching us. And it was a great experience, not only for this community, but also just for this space, in Web3 to do something that no one else is doing. And that's what we're trying to do. And it's been going really well.
Yeah, so it's a hit.
This community, was this kind of a built-in group from your mutual friend Saint, who had a community around him, and then he says, "Hey, I'm bringing in a couple of really creative guys, and they're going to sit here with you on Tuesday night, or however that scheduling works." How did that community get formed, or how did they find you, or was it just they were there and you guys kind of got put in place?
Yeah, Saint ran a Discord of about 50,000 people. He has a huge following in the NFT and Web3 space, right? And he has this awesome IP. It was called Lost Realms, and he was basically just selling NFTs of pixel art done by this guy named Gökçe and his team out of Turkey. Just incredible artists. And we built a comic book off of Gokce's ideas. And we created this amazing world, and people just ate it up. They had it was the largest grossing followers of the Discord time,
live events.
Yeah, live events. It was the highest grossing.
Wow.
It's incredible.
I want to go back to that choose your own adventure model, because I, like, probably both of you and many other nerds had some choose your own adventure books growing up. And I don't know if I'm the only one who cheated, but if I, turn the page to, turn to page 48, if that's what you want to do, and I realized that I was about to be cleaved in twain, I'm going back. There's a certain finality to the way that this choose your own adventure group process got put together.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it, man. Holmes wrote such great pieces that will never see the light of day, and you just got to live with it,
yeah. Well, and you, Joey, as well as I'm sure you do, Greg, that like there's so many times in our professions where we kick butt, but we're the only ones that get to enjoy it because it just doesn't get used.
Yeah.
But that's what makes us better and better every time we write or we draw or we work, whatever we're doing. It doesn't get wasted. We may feel like it's wasted because no one got to enjoy it or give us encouragement after watching it, but it's worth it because I really believe it helps us hone our skill. But I spent many hours on that, many hours.
I was going to kind of ask because now you guys have both. Your bona fides are well known. I mean, you've both worked in comics before and success. I mean, Marvel, DC, etc. So but correct me if I'm wrong on the traditional compensation model is like you get paid per page, right? And in this new model, as you mentioned, like there's, Holman, you're setting up a scenario that offers 3 choices, and each one of those has 3 choices. But and this isn't like a critique or anything like that, but it's like you're doing a lot of work that, again, at the end of the day, you're not getting paid for. But I guess the fulfillment comes in another form.
Well, and just to be really transparent about the whole thing, Joey, myself, Steve Gleason, the other guy that we're working with, a great friend of ours. He's kind of like the manager, editor, just everything else that we can't get done. He's awesome. He does it. Our whole point behind this was to build something. So a lot of us are working not with the money in mind, but with a goal in mind to have something that will eventually be bringing money in so we can do what we love for the rest of our lives, So when you look at it that way and we're working on it, I'm not really thinking about it, how I'm getting paid, because I know that the investment's coming in later.
Sure. That's the Field of Dreams model. If you build it, they will come.
Yeah, exactly.
So, excellent. I want to know more about Keensight comics as well. And I don't have if I were prepared, I could be able to flash a ticker across, which is the social medias, but I'm not that prepared. So where can on Instagram? I think is it just Keensight Comics or?
Yeah, it's Keensight Comics on Instagram. We also have a website, keensight.xyz. You can actually go there and order our book.
Well, that's helpful because I'll need to know how to do that.
Keensight.xyz.
Oh, I put XYD for whatever reason.
Well, he cut out. That's why I repeated it.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
It's not your fault. I will definitely make sure that we include this and social media, points in the post, things like that. But what, because we all have done a lot of different things. Again, the fact that I've known you guys, close to 20 years, we've all done a lot of things in our adult lives. But now, I mean, you guys are fully invested and dedicated to this. That it's your full times. It's the full-time gigs, and I know that brings a certain amount of pressure, right? But it also brings a certain amount of freedom. And Holman, again, kind of with little Mordecai and another one on the way. And I know your oldest just graduated high school, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's true. He did.
So, but and Joey, you've got 3 amazing kids as well, and your plate is full. But I mean, going all in on something like this, and the people who listened or watched the last YouTube video, I use the words all in a lot because my guest then, Jason Copeland, went all in, bet on himself, and worked on his magnum opus, if you will, for the last 5 years before doing crowdfunding, had it fully funded within a couple of hours. So I've been using all in because I feel like that's been the mantra, a lot of the mindset with a lot of the people that I know and am close with in this industry of betting on yourselves and doing maybe a non-traditional route, but something that is again most fulfilling.
You want to go?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go. You go.
I can attest to that. Actually, I can really attest to that. Simply because like being a foot soldier for like Marvel and DC, it comes with its perks, but it's not as fulfilling as what we've built with Keensight, if that makes any sense. We're trying to do something here that has really broken the mold as far as like comic creation goes, and we've some pretty amazing things that I think is going to revolutionize the comic industry with our model that we're building right now. So it's exciting future to come.
I think one of the bigger, maybe not bigger, biggest possible complaint or issue that people who have worked with the big two have is the creator owned concept, in that you're pen for hire, you don't own anything. But through Keensight, this is something where you have total control, total say, and you're not beholden to outside of the community. You're not beholden to any corporate bylaws or statutes or things that they want to see influence, I suppose.
Yeah, it's nice to have that freedom and to be your own boss. It's kind of like I feel like this is the way the guys felt before Image started. Like they were like, okay, this is our chance to really shine. So let's make sure that we put our best foot forward and work our butts off. And that's where Joey and I have been with. That's where our mentality's been. There's been many 20-hour days getting us to the point to where we've been able to lock down a couple of different IPs that have really blessed us and been able to give us the opportunity to grow as a company. So, yes, you're in charge. Yes, you don't have anybody telling you have to write to this, this agenda or whatever. But you do have to bust your butt, and that's the one thing that separates the men from the boys, is that you have to. The only way to break insanity in anything is to do something more than you're doing at the moment. Mm-hmm. So Joey and I and Steve, we knew that like if we're going to go into Web3 and we're going to start doing comic books, we got to do more than the guys are doing at this moment. And that's what we have been doing. We've been busting our butts, and we've been trying to stay humble, but bust our butts and to put out great product. And when we get feedback, we take it, we use it, or we try to use a little bit of it and get rid of the rest of it and keep moving forward. But it has been hard work, but it's nice to be able to do it for ourselves.
Right. With your permission, gentlemen, and full disclosure to the viewers out there, the listeners, that these are completely out of context, but I do have some you man down. I do have some artwork that I'd love to put up there, and maybe not get into the story necessarily, because I want people who are going to get their hands on the book to see it for themselves, and but I've been such a fan of your guys' work, your artistic stylings for so long, that if nothing else, I just kind of want to share that with the good viewers.
Absolutely. Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
I did flash up the Lost Realms cover a little bit ago. Now, is that we just got a man down notification. Is this cover by the two of you, or did sometimes covers can be contracted out?
Yeah, so this was drawn by Joey. I inked this cover, and Ander Zarate, our colorist, Joey's back. Ander was colored it, and this was the initial pitch cover for when we started working with Saint and Lost Realms, to kind of show them what Keensight could do and what we could bring to their community. Joey, if you had anything else you wanted to say, please feel free to, bro. He's frozen. Anyways, so that was the initial cover. I don't really. He's frozen, so I feel bad. But yeah, so that's the initial cover. I don't really know if it's going to actually be a cover, but it's wonderful artwork, and I really think that it helped us get our foot in the door when it came to working with Saint and his community. Hey, Joey.
Yeah, I love drawing that piece. My internet's being so bad right now, man. I don't know what's going on.
Well, you have my full forgiveness. I know where you live, and I know that internet in some spots of Southern Illinois is, sketchy at best. I think what I love about this cover is I feel like we're seeing a lot of the tools in your arsenal, Joey. It's you have the beautiful, curvaceous women, but also the muscle bound. The monsters. You have the sleek elf figure. It hits all the notes.
Yeah, it's got a bit of everything for everybody.
It really does. I mean, I don't think anybody could look at that and be like, it's missing something. I don't think. Again, like I said, it hits all my buttons. And I don't mean that in a weird way. So what I did in some of the art samples that you all shared is I said, some of these look like they go together. So I made essentially splash pages, and some of you will notice, yes, there is a black line right down the middle. That's your center crease. So what can you guys tell me about? I mean, it's a fire-breathing dragon. It is a magical figure who's doing their very best to protect themselves from the fire, and scare
Absolutely.
me.
So this is Druck, the dragon Druck, and Celeste. This is a part of a gatefold poster that Joey designed of 5 pages. And this is page 2 and 3. It is an awesome depiction of kind of the story going into Lost Realms, speaking about the evils of Druck coming and taking over this realm, and Celeste losing her powers. She was originally, kind of like lord over the lands, kind of like the godmother over all powers, and unfortunately, she had overextended her reach. And it brought Druck into their land, and she lost her powers, giving him power over the realm, and he basically brought deceit upon all the people. But yeah, this page is so dope, and Joey and Ander. So Joey drew it, I inked it, and Ander colored it. It's gorgeous. I can't wait to get it in my hands. It's a beautiful piece.
Your Holman, your inking skills are of legend. I don't know if you know that.
They're fantastic.
I don't. You guys are too nice, man. I gotta broaden your horizons, I guess. But I appreciate you saying that. It's really kind.
Well, so I say for those who don't know, but that's just about everybody watching this, and maybe some of the people in the call, is that a couple years back, something like that, my wife commissioned a very stunning poster from Mr. Holman to hang in her exam. She's in the medical field. She's a medical provider, and she wanted to really be able to pinpoint. You have medical background, Justin. I don't, but it was like it was vertebrae or nerves or something.
Dermatomes.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it. but Justin put that all together. It's hanging up in her exam room. Still gets comments that she'll come back and say so and so really liked that poster and so
that's awesome. It was an honor to do it.
Terrific work. So I have another splash page that I'm going to hold off for just a minute. And I try to be very selective in the artwork that I used because I didn't want there to be any spoilers. But I want to show, I got to know who this character is because I feel like this character is important.
Yeah, man.
That's our king. He's one of the risen kings, the resurrected king. He was one of thousands of kings that exist in our story, actually.
Yeah, he's from the land of Thalanor. Super, super awesome character.
I can't help but notice you said the resurrected king, and I'm like, wait a minute, I know of only one of those, but
yeah,
not that one.
Not that one. Couldn't help myself.
Not the king of kings. He's
right. No, just
like mini king.
Yeah. Now he will, if I get these right in the right order, he will come in contact or conflict with. Yes.
The Kraken.
That's what that is a Kraken. I thought Garrett was looking at it over my shoulder. He's like, "What's that squid monster?" I'm like, "I'm gonna find out."
That's the Kraken, man. Yeah, this has been a huge to do in the community. The people absolutely love this guy. Loved it so much that they created an offspring for it for the next issue.
Yeah, they did.
So I'm very curious to know, and I'm going to hide this for a minute. And Joe, we miss your handsome face, but we understand that the video can beat up some bandwidth. But the community, as they are helping choose the direction the story is going to go, are they seeing any of this at all, or are they just putting the pieces into place and then there will be a finished product that kind of everyone will see at the same time?
They're seeing it. They're seeing it as it's made. So yeah, right there.
That was the one thing I wasn't sure. So
it's completely transparent.
So while you all are doing one of these live streams and giving them options, you're basically just dropping in the next page. Am I understanding that right? So that they can see what's going on, or am I do I not have the best understanding?
The pacing of it isn't necessarily.
Yeah, well, like Justin was saying. Go ahead, bud.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we started out as like we tried to pace it out where it was 3 pages a week. We would come up with the 3 scenes and we would draw those out each week, and then we would drop the new set as the coming week, and everybody saw each page as it was coming along, and they saw each character as it was being created. And we even did live character designs with the community, and they even got to choose what the character looked like. So like if you see the ogress, the community actually designed her. You remember the female ogre?
I see it here, purple, white hair.
She's got white. Yeah, pull her up and you'll see. The community chose her outfit, her look, all of it.
Am I supposed to pull her up? I'm on it. You guys keep talking. You're doing great.
Yeah, sure. That's what's amazing about this community and the Web3 space in general is we get to involve everybody in that personal adventure and that sense of belonging and community and being a part of the project. And I think it takes the consumer experience to the next level. You know what I mean? How many times would you have just loved to sit there while you're watching Jim Lee draw a page? You know what I mean?
I definitely feel like it gives the community a bit more ownership, you know,
Yes.
rather than, I mean, yes, they'll have the finished product, but they can actually say, that was my idea. For example, there's going to be somebody who will encounter, you know, this and show it to their friends, and as it's uploading, and they'll say, the ogress is purple because I suggested it. Or her
Yeah.
mate has two heads because I was going to make up a random internet user handle, but I'm like, that's a lot of effort that I don't.
Yeah, they chose her skin tone, her hair color, her outfit, her coat, all of it.
When you're on with the community and you're having these like really serious, impactful, conversations and streams, like what kind of, how much time are you putting into, like just one live stream session?
We would do hour sessions at a time.
Okay. All right.
Sometimes it would go over. I think the max was maybe 2 hours at one point.
Do you kind of approach it like, today we're going to be, trying to design a character, and come with your ideas, or how organic does something like that come about, or is it more, we're diving into character creation Wednesday night, or
Yeah, exactly. That's what we would do. We would post an event, and we would invite the community to come and join, and we would be focusing completely on character design that night, right? And then Nick, he's basically the MC of the whole thing, and he talks to the community, and we just riff back and forth, and just laugh and have a great time. But we would ask the community, hey, what would you say, like, what would you like to see as their coat? What color? What is there a cool idea that you could toss out there? And the community would, write in the chat, and then he would create a poll to some of the top picked ones, right? And then everybody would vote on those. And whoever got the most votes for each, like, skin color, coat, hair, all that, whatever won, we would just put it in there, and I would design it right there as we go.
Hey, I'm going to give you guys just a little bit of heck. When do you usually do these live stream events?
We do them about twice a week.
Okay. Daytime, nighttime, Eastern, Central, Pacific.
It fluctuates.
Most of the ones that were done during the Lost Realms, the issue that we're talking about right now, were done, between the hours of 5 and 7 p.m. at CST. But like, and it was something I wanted to add to what Joey was saying was the great thing about them designing the character is the only reason that they were designing that character was because they wrote that character into their comic book.
Okay.
So like this is the amazing thing about it, is that like if you were able to sit down and write a Spider-Man comic book, and you were able to say exactly who you wanted the villain to be, exactly how you wanted him to be attacked, exactly what he was wearing. That's what they're getting to do with their world that they're all a community about.
Nice.
And so none of it's, a lot of it, some of it's happening, just with the miracle of just happenstance. But a lot of it was, hey, this is what you wrote. So today, this is what Joey's going to. So you're going to guide Joey, and you're going to figure out exactly how you want this character to look at in the comic book you guys helped write.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they just played director, basically.
And
yeah.
And how, I mean, obviously we're, Joey, I know that, maybe, well, for sure within the last 10 years, maybe a skosh before that. That's right, folks. I use words like skosh on occasion because I'm old. You really started to transition your, a lot of your work from a more traditional, pencil and paper to digital. And how important was that to this process? Because I imagine you're doing all of these sketching in a digital forum.
Yeah, I'm working everything on an iPad.
Yeah.
So I had moved from digital from traditional to digital as I was working with Hasbro, and we started doing everything through using Photoshop and the Wacom tablet, right? And then I got turned on to the iPad and Procreate a couple years ago, and then that was just a game changer for me.
I think Holmes also got turned on to Procreation, if you know what I
mean. I'll be back in 1 second.
Never mind.
Number 3.
I think that's how it works. I think you're gonna have to wait at least a few months.
Back to back.
It's called an investment.
He's gonna deposit an investment.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Anyway, with the iPad came Photoshop Procreate.
Yeah. So being able to do this digitally with the Web3 community is it's paramount, because since everything is digital in the Web3 space, like NFTs, all that stuff, we're doing a lot of live streaming. So it's really helpful to be, you can do it traditionally too, but it's really helpful and a lot quicker, and it makes this process a whole lot smoother using digital.
And a lot more fun, I'd imagine, for the community.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And the only reason I asked, and this is where I say the little bit of heck, is because I've never been invited to the community. And that's
you
why
want an invite? Do you have a Discord, Greg?
No, I don't know what that means.
Then
that's
you
why.
need to know. That's probably why.
Here, hold my hand.
We'll send you an invite. Yeah, get a Discord account, and I'll send you an invite.
And it's important because I had, we're talking about the evolution of the medium and realistically of commerce and
sure.
goods and or services. And when I was first made aware of this, and you said it's going to be an NFT, and I said, I don't know what that means. And then I said, can you just get me one I can hold in my hand? Because I'm old, and that's what I like to do, is hold things.
Well, that's what's great about this. We're going to be doing the Web 2 route, and we're also going to be doing the Web 3 route. So yes, you will have a physical copy, but yes, you will also have a digital copy that will be linked to your wallets on the blockchain. So
what's Web 2?
Well, it's just like print media.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on.
I feel like we're only a few steps away from dark web territory.
No,
okay.
This is not the dark web. We're not selling like panties to anybody.
I could use the money. I'll sell some of mine.
I go through socks. I'll tell you that much. I go through socks.
I ain't touching these socks, Greg.
6, 7. Yeah, I'll just go to Costco.
I was looking around for something I could, hold up to display to put in a vacuum seal bag and send off, but I don't have anything near me. But
no,
never mind. Let's just move on. It's probably
this
safer for everybody.
Taking a bad turn.
Yeah. Okay. So full disclosure and transparency. There's no dark webness about this. This is not me asking. This is me stating to everybody out there. Web3 and Discord is not dark web related. But it is something that I'm very largely because I just want to sit in sometimes, maybe not necessarily contribute ideas, but just watch the process. And so since I didn't ever know about it, I had so many questions about the process. See,
well, we're not just a comic book studio. We're an entertainment studio. We go into these communities and we entertain. We create art and we entertain people.
It's amazing that you say things like studios. Because a little birdie told me before we started hitting that record button that Mr. Holman is very busy these days.
Yes, he is with
Mr.
a
Holman.
amazing project.
Would you like to? Are you at liberty? I think the first thing we need to find out is, do you have an NDA?
No, but I'm not dumb, so what are we talking about? Because I wear so many hats. I mean, what are you? Just get to the
talking
point.
about Dimensionals.
Oh, great, very cool, very cool. Yeah, so I'm the lead writer for Dimensionals. Yeah, and so I'm working with Joey. Now this is all still through the studio, right? So like, but right now I've been working with Sash, who's the CEO of Dimensionals. It's a Web3 based gaming IP, but it's also, has potential for being a cartoon and a toy line and a bunch of other stuff. It's a great world. I got the opportunity to start writing the first comic issue with them about a month and a half ago. And after writing with them, Sasha and I, the owner, we started hanging out, talking a lot, and he decided that he would like for me to come on and be their lead writer. So I've been very blessed to jump on that IP and get to know all the people at Mino Games. That's the company. There's a bunch of tremendous artists, tremendous devs working there. Sauce is an amazing person to work with. He's got a great mindset. He's go, but he's got a point that he wants us to go towards. It's not just random, and I like that. I like that he's got an idea. So I basically what I've been doing is I've been writing the world of this world called Dimensionals. I'm writing all the lore behind it, dialogue for games, the comic books, possibly a pilot for a cartoon. I don't know, but I know that it's amazing and it's an honor to work on it. It's concrete except for the comic book and the Web3 gaming as of right now, but they have some amazing NFT stuff they're doing. And it's an honor to be working on it, and I plan to be working on it for a long time because it's a very broad story arc that needs a lot of detail put into it, and I am just the man to do it.
Yes, you are.
Just realized my microphone is still muted. I've been doing this a long time and still make rookie mistakes. That is so. If I'm on the right place, on the right website, dimensionals.com.
I don't know what their web is because I'm usually following them on Twitter and in Discord, but I'm sure that they have a .com that they run.
Is it the free to own RPG you've been waiting for?
Yes.
Heroes of the Multiverse?
Yes.
Dimensionals.com, technically /Eve.
Yeah, Eve is one of the characters. Main character from the book is called Koa, a young boy who has gained what's called a dimensional stone, which has given him superpowers, throwing him into a battle that's been going on for centuries between an evil being called Ragnaroth and his horde of specters. And Koa becomes a dimensional along with an army of other dimensionals, which is led by his Gramps. And it's a super rad story. We're going deeper and deeper with it. It would be perfect for Cartoon Network. I'll tell you that right now. But even better, it would be perfect just as anything animated because it really lends to that. And I really see it going there because it's got a lot to offer. And I'm trying to write it that way, to be honest, as I'm building it up and we're writing the comic books and we're writing the lore for the game. I'm trying to write it to where it has enough meat to where if it does get to animation, that they'll be like, there's some story arc here we can work with,
Mm-hmm. What is the, like, if you had to put a consumer rating on it as far as like, is it, let's start with Lost Realms. Is that E for everyone? Is that T for teen? And the only reason I ask is I'm gonna put some of this artwork back up here, and for example, I mean, there's nothing salacious about this. However, and I'm gonna bring the Kraken back up. It all looks tremendous, but I don't. I'm trying to figure not not harmless isn't the word I'm looking for, but not, exceptionally graphic. But there is a point in that story where things take a turn for the red, if you know what I mean. So how would you, if you're trying to find a demographic or an audience, not trying to find, but expand, how would you label it as far as the audience goes?
Well, I would say Lost Realms was built more for the community and their story, so it would not be an E for everyone. Simply because there's a lot of blood and guts. I mean, Celeste is butt naked in the first page, and
I saw that. I didn't know if you were aware of that. I didn't know if you knew.
It's not an E. Let's just say that. Dimensionals, however, is.
Yeah.
And Dimensionals looks, by the way, looks super, kid friendly. So I encourage those of you like myself with children. Is that something that like I could pull up for Garrett and watch him get lost in it for?
Yes.
That's the whole point for Dimensionals, is for a father to be able to play this game with his daughter or son, for a mother to be able to sit down with her kids and play it. It's meant to bridge the gap between generations. I really see it as being it's very similar to like a Pokemon meets Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's got some really great humor in it. Nothing that's not honestly not even weird like SpongeBob, just goofy.
Right.
But it's also got some great stories. So yeah, it's definitely got to be safe for kids and their parents.
We're all dads, and as we kind of established earlier, we all have various ages of children. But I even find like I've sometimes I got to turn off a Marvel movie because it has some language in it that like I don't really think he needs to hear that, or for the many problems that Thor: Love and Thunder have, I don't really need Chris Hemsworth's naked butt on my 40-inch TV in front of my 7-year-old son. So I'm like, we're gonna back out of that and put on something. Maybe I'm being overprotective. I don't know, but that's just my approach. So things that I'm always looking for things that we can do together. In fact, you can't see it because it's too far in the background, but somewhere in this vicinity here is the
Chris Hemsworth.
Greg's like, I'm gonna turn this off for my kid, but I'm gonna come back to this later.
if you look behind me, Chris Hemsworth is naked.
No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
ahead,
but
it's serious.
It's the Super Mario Brothers Game of Life, which we play, and we love. My wife, my oldest, and we love playing that game. It's nothing like the Game of Life we grew up with, but it's very. I don't know the correct word, but there's a lot of sabotage in it. Like you can steal coins from other people and kind of kick them off, back to the beginning of the board. It's a lot of fun, and that's the type of
up their butt. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's the level of entertainment that I'm looking to share with my son. So
sure.
I'm excited for Dimensionals, now that I know about it in that regard. So
absolutely, and that's the focus of it, is to really make it a brand that is going to be safe. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be thrilling. It's going to capture the imagination and not only capture the imagination of the children watching it, but their parents as well. That's the whole point behind it.
Mm-hmm.
We talked that here in the not too distant future, Lost Realms is going to print. How can someone like me, who's not in the community, how can we acquire a copy of Lost Realms?
Well, we've been talking that out. Once we get all the books sold through the community, these are going to be special. These are going to be special issues that will only be available through our NFT holders, right? So, hang on one sec.
Doing that parenting thing.
Yeah,
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, they're arguing over the VR.
Oh, you know, I'd much rather be interrupted for that than, you know, for Chris Hemsworth's naked butt behind me.
Sure. Yeah. Where was I? Oh, yeah. We were talking about the comic going to print. So you will be able to get a copy of, say, like a broad, just regular issue. I think we're going to be going through maybe a Kickstarter after this and starting another print run. But we're only going to be selling the originals, the original, I think we're doing 5 different covers, and they're going to have a certain rarity assigned to each of those. And so you can only pick those up if you are a holder of our tokens. So it's going to be a small supply to begin with, and then we're going to be going out to, say, just regular publishing.
I you know, because I'm not in the community yet. You know, I think I've got to apply, and then I've got to go through a background check and you know, check my credit score and things like that before I can be invited into Discord. And then
you have to sacrifice a goat.
That's always the tough part. Is, you know, goats are so darn cute. I never really want to sacrifice a goat.
Yeah, I agree. You get a good goat, you don't want to kill it.
It's like, nah.
And if it's one of the fainting ones, you definitely can't sacrifice that.
They're so cute falling over. It's like my little boy. He's 15 months old, falling over. He falls over like a little hobo on Venice Beach. Oh, you're so cute. He's all drunk off of milk.
Yeah. Just wait. I mean, I don't have to tell you that you have 5 other children. So I don't have to tell you to be like, just wait for the other years. You're pretty well familiar with it.
Yeah.
I will just assume at this point that my application's in the mail, and you'll just tell me when I can jump on the Kickstarter or the other.
What I think that we should do is have another one of these when we have that information to present. And not only you can get one, but everyone else watching can as well. Because with that information isn't really available just yet, but we'd love to share it as soon as it is for the public that aren't even in Web3. It will be an option, but it's just not. We're just not at that point just yet. But like, we should just get together again when that's happening, and man, we'll hook you up.
Yes. Yeah. Obviously, you have to satisfy your masters, your community overlords, so to speak, first, and then the peasants.
The peasants. Even the dogs get to, the dogs will get to eat from the scraps.
You know, you always have a way with words, Mr. Holman, and that's why you're in charge of everything at Dimensionals. No. Well, guys, you asked how long these things go, and I said, I don't know, about 45 minutes to an hour, right above it, right about at it. Joe, can we see your happy face here in the final moments?
Yeah, I've moved into my daughter's room, so I kind of have a weird background now.
Oh. Hello, love.
Right.
Hello.
That's your daughter's room. We know. We know you've got the princess curtain around your bed.
She's tore the dang thing down. It's just...
Oh, gosh.
That she had over the top.
Well, look, outside of Nerds United, everything, content, etc., I really hope that we can find some time, the 3 of us and Mike and Brody, who should be watching this, to all get together sometime this summer for a barbecue or find some good food, get together, have some of that fellowship that we used to have on a very regular basis back in the day before we all got older, got kids, moved on, moved away, things like that. So that's my hope for summer 2023 is for all of us to get together. It's always just a true joy visiting with you guys. I thank you for your time on a Friday night, because you do have families, and I've pulled you away from them for a good chunk of time. So thank you to your families for let me steal you away for a little bit. Thank you to you guys for giving me your time. Thank you for telling me and all the viewers and listeners about Lost Realms, Keensight Comics, and just for being the excellent gentleman that you are, and so open and sharing. And I'm very thankful for the both of you. And that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. We appreciate you, and thanks for having me on, and having Joey on. It's always a pleasure. We're really blessed. We love talking about the stuff that we get to do. I mean, like, who gets to do what we do? You know what I mean? I tell my wife that my job is like the actor's job on a movie. You know, like, who has this job? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's just, it's just like, okay, I'm waking up and I'm like, my life's awesome. Praise the Lord.
Love what you do, and you'll never work a day in your life.
That's right.
Praise the Lord, man. And I got good friends. So, but thank you so much for having us on. It's an honor.
I don't know. I'll let you guys rock, paper, scissors figure this out. But we always end the show the old blockbuster video way. So I will say, be kind, and one of you guys can walk us out of here. So to everybody, to all of you who joined us on YouTube this week, or everybody listening on the podcast, we appreciate all of your support as well. And we're exceptionally grateful for you. For my guest this time around, guests, plural, Joey Dodd, Justin Holman. Thank you to you guys. I'm Greg Mahochko. This is Nerds United, and we remind you each and every week to be kind.
And stay frosty? It
rhymes with be kind.
What's that? Be kind?
It rhymes with be kind. It's
It
blockbuster video, so
Rewind!